Jihan stared at the holochip in her palm, its crystalline surface catching the sterile light of the Galactic Council's reception chamber. Around her, beings from across the known galaxy celebrated her cousin Zara's unprecedented achievement, the first human to be granted full citizenship in the Zerion Collective, complete with a fortune that could buy star systems and a war mech that had toppled empires. Quite the family gathering, rumbled Ambassador Kethvar, his massive insectoid form casting a shadow over Jihan's slight frame. The Zerion official's compound eyes glittered with what she'd learned to recognize as amusement. Your cousin has certainly impressed the council. Jihan nodded politely, watching Zara pose for holo pictures beside her new Titan-class mech. The machine towered 3 stories high, its quantum steel hull gleaming with adaptive camouflage arrays and enough firepower to glass a continent. The fortress deed clutched in Zara's other hand represented ownership of an entire moon, complete with mining rights, defensive networks, and a private army. She deserves it, Jihan said, meaning it. Zara had saved the Zerion homeworld from the Void Plague, sacrificing her own ship and crew in the process. The galaxy owed her a debt that 50 million credits barely began to repay. Indeed. Kethvar's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. Which brings us to you, Jihan Santos, the forgotten cousin, the one who stayed home while Zara conquered the stars. Heat flushed Jihan's cheeks. I'm not forgotten? Perhaps not the right word. The alien's head tilted with predatory grace. Overlooked, then. Tell me, what do you know of Earth's early space program? The question seemed to come from nowhere. Jihan frowned. The basics. Chemical rockets, dangerous as hell. Most missions failed. Took us decades to reach our own moon safely. Precisely. Primitive. Inefficient. Deadly. Kethvar's voice carried a note of disdain that made Jihan's jaw clench. Yet your species persisted. Do you know why? Because we're stubborn? Because you're insane. The ambassador's laugh was a chittering sound like breaking glass. No rational species would have continued after the first dozen catastrophic failures. The mathematics alone should have deterred you. The fuel requirements, the radiation exposure, the sheer impossibility of biological beings surviving in vacuum. Yet humans kept climbing into metal tubes filled with explosives and shooting themselves into the void. Jihan's grip tightened on the holochip. Your point being? My point, dear child, is that sanity is overrated. Kethvar leaned closer, his alien scent sharp and medicinal. The Zerion Collective has existed for 10,000 years. We have conquered death, transcended physical limitations, and built an empire spanning 16 galaxies. We are the pinnacle of rational thought. Congratulations. We are also dying. The words hung in the recycled air like a death sentence. Around them, the celebration continued. But Jihan suddenly felt isolated in a bubble of terrible knowledge. The Zerion, Kethvar continued, have bred out every trace of irrationality, every spark of dangerous creativity. We optimize. We calculate. We choose the safest, most logical path. And now we face a threat that cannot be defeated by logic alone. He gestured toward the viewing port, where the swirling darkness of the Maelstrom anomaly consumed starlight at the galaxy's edge. That phenomenon has destroyed every probe we've sent. Every rational analysis suggests it's impossible, a region of space where the laws of physics simply break down. Our best minds have studied it for centuries and reached the same conclusion. It cannot be entered, cannot be understood, and will eventually expand to consume everything. But you think humans can? I think humans are the only species foolish enough to fly directly into an impossible death trap just to see what's on the other side. Kethvar's compound eyes reflected the anomaly's hungry darkness. Your cousin proved that when she piloted a damaged frigate through a black hole's event horizon to reach the Void Plague's source. Mathematically impossible. She did it anyway. Jihan looked down at the holochip, its faceted surface now pulsing with soft bioluminescence. What's on this? The location of a derelict ship drifting at the Maelstrom's edge. It's been there for 3 months. A Zerion exploration vessel that somehow survived initial contact with the anomaly before losing all power. The crew is still alive, but we cannot reach them. Every rescue attempt has failed. Because you're being rational about it. Precisely. Kethvar straightened to his full imposing height. The council gave your cousin rewards for her past heroism. I am offering you the chance to earn your own. Jihan studied the alien's expression, reading the desperation beneath his formal composure. What's really in the maelstrom? We don't know. That's what terrifies us. She almost smiled at the admission. The mighty Zarian collective, rulers of galaxies afraid of the unknown. How very rational. The holochip contains everything we know about the anomaly, plus clearance codes for a prototype stealth ship. No weapons, minimal armor, just speed and the ability to slip past conventional sensors. Kethvar paused. Also contained within are the genetic profiles of the stranded crew. They have families, Jihan. Children who will never see their parents again unless someone is foolish enough to attempt the impossible. Across the chamber, Zara was giving an interview to galactic media, her new war mech gleaming behind her like a monument to human achievement. She looked happy, fulfilled, like someone who had found her place in the universe. Jihan had never envied her cousin's success, but she had often wondered what her own place might be. Growing up on Earth while Zara explored the stars, she'd felt like a footnote in someone else's story. Now an alien was offering her a chance to write her own. When do I leave? Kethvar's mandibles clicked in approval. The ship is waiting in Bay 94, along with a crew of volunteers, 3 humans who are apparently as insane as you are. Only 3? It's a small ship. Besides, 4 humans attempting the impossible seems appropriately irrational. The ambassador's compound eyes glittered. Your cousin saved 1 world, Jihan Santos. Perhaps you'll save a galaxy. As Jihan walked toward the exit, the holochip warm in her palm, she heard Zara's voice echoing through the chamber. Humans don't retreat. We don't surrender. We find a way forward, no matter how impossible it seems. Jihan smiled and quickened her pace toward Bay 94, toward the waiting ship, toward the swirling darkness that had defeated the greatest minds in the galaxy. Time to prove that sometimes impossibility was just another word for opportunity.